Hey everybody, this is Linda. Welcome back to Stamping School. I showed this card a few weeks ago when I was playing with the new stamp positioner, kind of comparing it with the Stamparatus. And I was using it to stamp this card, but I didn't use the masks that you normally use to make it. So I had a few requests. Can you show us how to use the masks with the stamps? So I'm going to use it with this bundle right here, which is called Layers of Beauty. This one. It has the stamps and the dies and the masks all together with a bundle, or you can buy them all individually. But I found using the positioner really helpful with the masks. So I'm going to kind of do a 2-for-1 here. I was comparing the difference between this positioner and the Stamparatus. My thoughts are still the same. I love the Stamparatus, even though it's not available anymore. I love having an edge on it. But I also love that this one is bigger for the magnetic part on the bottom, which I found really helpful. So, I don't know. I still say if you have a Stamparatus, keep using it. If you don't have any stamp positioner yet, consider this one. It will be available to customers later on. Right now until March 2nd, it's free if you join as a demonstrator. You pick out your starter kit. It's $99 plus tax. You get free shipping on it. You choose $125 worth of stuff, and you get this free, which is like a $49 value. So it's until March 2nd, I believe. Yes, March 2nd, because March 3rd we have a whole bunch of new things coming out. And then later on, this will be available for customers. So there's the commercial. We're done. Now we can stamp. This Layers of Beauty is quite pretty. It is still available. I don't know how long, if it's going to carry through for the whole year or not, but we've had it for quite a while. But it's a really big, nice stamp. And the masks, there's 5 of them that go along with this. So I have them numbered. There are little sketched numbers up here that are clear. I put a Sharpie on them so they're easy to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll show you how those work. I have an anniversary card that I wanted to do. Now this one I did freesia and freesia only. So it's monochromatic. Obviously you can do the mask with lots of colors, but I wanted to do this color because I was a bridesmaid in the late 80s for this person. And my dress was mauve. So this is close to the color that I wore for her wedding. And her anniversary is coming up. Now I'm going to do this one on freesia paper. And I'm just lining this paper up to the bottom here. And there's little notches here, so it just will stay there. These are the magnets that come with it, which is nice because they have like a little tab on them and they don't break if they accidentally stick together like these did before. But down to the bottom, I want an edge still. I might make my own edge of some kind. I want a nice hard edge for this to sit up against. But in the meantime, this works pretty good. So I'm going to take number 1 for my mask. I'm going to line it up with my paper down at the bottom here. And I want to put the stamp in here. So these are all designed to go together. But what I want to do is kind of get a ballpark of where it's going to be, so that it's going to be easier for me to do the mask on top of it. And I'll show you why. And whether you have a positioner or not, you can tape it down, but this does make it nice and easy. All right, I'm going to mount my stamp just like that. Okay, now it's mounted. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the image so that I have something to look at when I'm masking. The stamp makes it all come together. Yes, you can use the mask without it, but I think you're going to miss the definition that the stamp gives. This is the secret C. And put that down right there. All right, good pressure. This sort of helps a little bit. There we go. Good pressure. And if I missed it, I could do it again, but that looks great. Okay, now don't take that off because we're going to do something at the very end with it that's different. All right, don't take it off. All right, so here we go. This is down here. Number 1 goes on here. Now, there are certain things that you want to look for when you're doing the masks. When you get them, and there's maybe 3 to 5 in a set, make sure your notch is always in the same place, in the upper left-hand corner in this case. And then there might be some slight shifting around you have to do. So for instance, even though I tried to get this just right, I still need to move this paper away and kind of just get it right in the right spot. But it won't matter because we're going to put the magnets on top. And the first thing that I look for when I'm doing this is the little centers of the flowers. Those seem to be what always line up the best. And you're just shifting around. There's one here, and one here. So there, and there. Because sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? They have their idea for how it's going to be shaded, and it doesn't always look obvious, but it always comes out so nice. So I'm using freesia on freesia, one ink pad and one brush color. You can use smudge daubers or whatever you want to use. Okay, this is the first coat, which is very light. The lightest one, the biggest one is always the lightest one. And then you work your way darker and darker. Now, if you were going to do different colors, you could make the roses from yellows to oranges to corals, to pinks. You could change them and do a lot of real pretty variations of flowers. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going monochromatic, old school, mauve for the bridal dress I had to wear back then. I'm trying not to hold a grudge, but it was the 80s. All right, so there's number one. Number two, so notch in the upper right-hand corner. Now, number two lines up a little bit differently. You got to sort of figure out where it goes. And again, right there, that's the key. That little flower center there, which goes on this flower center there. And you just got to move it around. That one lines up there. And when your eyes are like on top of it like this, it'll make more sense and it'll look good. Yeah, the movements that you're moving these around to get it just right, you line up these two little leaves and this little dot and this little dot. It's not bad. And then once you do it a few times, it's no problem. Now this one's going to be a touch darker. Okay, so we're taking that same color of ink, but we're going on top of the other ink, and so it's making it just a little bit darker. Could you use 3 different colors, hues of the same? Yes, but why? When it's going to look just as good, and you're not making a mess and having all these ink pads out and all these different colors of brushes and daubers and everything else out. It's going to look good. Okay, see there? You're not going to see it. Okay, that's 2. Number 3, I'm taking longer because I have to explain it, but I was able to knock several of these out pretty quickly. So once you get in a roll, this dot matches up there, and this dot matches there. So look for the little dots for the centers of the flowers, and then just sort of shift your way around. There we go, magnet, which is so much nicer than taping down every single time. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, third coat. See, now it's getting darker and darker. You can press a little bit harder. You can rub those bristles in there. If you notice up here, you can watch it. It gets darker and darker. When I'm done with everything, I'll take all these to the sink and just rinse them off all at once. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is now the leaves. I could stop here. This is where if you're doing it on white cardstock, you might say, oh, I'm going to change, and I might go to green. That's okay. This one's pretty easy to line up because you're going to just line up the leaves for their first little coat. Of course, the pink of the paper is showing through, so it looks like part of it's already done, but we're going to give it a little coat like this. You don't even really have to add a lot of ink on this one because you've already had a lot of ink from the last bit. Ooh, forgot my magnets. I felt it. There we go. I really like doing this on the magnet because it's just so much faster than tape. I think I said that already, but ooh, getting there. And then number 5, this is the detail for the leaves. And then we're going to do one more thing that's a little unexpected. So hang in there with me. This one was probably the hardest for me to find the exact location, but it turned out. I think at this point it's so small also, it probably isn't going to make a difference, but I do really like it. Okay. Let's see how it looks. Ah, very pretty. Now, if you wanted to do that on white, that's what this looks like right here. This is white and exactly the same thing. But it was easier for me to show you with this color than white on white. So, but this is what the white would look like. You see that little glitter in there? Let me show you how I did that. Now, we're gonna do something a little bit different. Okay, I rinsed off my stamp. We're gonna put it back down here at the bottom, right where it was. Put these little magnets back on. And then I'm gonna come in with a Versamark, and I'm gonna emboss this with clear embossing powder. Now, what looks really nice also, if you want to emboss it with a glitter embossing powder, like back in the day, we used to mix Dazzling Diamonds fine glitter with clear embossing powder. And it's 1 part glitter to 2 part embossing powder, which still works. But if you want to do that, that's really pretty. That's what I did on this one here. See that little glitter in there? I added a pretty little glitter on it. This is just Versamark. And then we're going to put our clear powder on top. And what I really liked about this with the clear gloss, this is just clear gloss powder, it stuck to some of the places that were heavier on the ink. So I don't know if you can see the powder, because we put 3 layers of ink on this, it sticks everywhere. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. All right, now we're going to heat it. So when you're embossing this, you don't want to just go all over. You want to really be methodical and kind of stay in one area and work your way across, because it's easy to miss parts of it. So what you're left with, look, oh, can you guys see that? There is texture everywhere where the clear embossing powder stuck. So imagine if you did that with the glitter embossing powder. I hope you can see, oh, there you go. Maybe you can see it. It's so pretty. So for her card, I mounted it on an embossed panel back here. This one is larger. It's going to be an A6 envelope, which is still just 1 stamp, but it is 4.5 by 6, basically. Just because this is such a big floral piece right here. The dies cut that out, and then they also have dies that cut out the other pieces too. This is a label that's coming out March 3rd, which I'll show you then, which is really pretty. But the happy anniversary came from this stamp set right here that we're using with the big flower. And just a few accents of silver here and there. But just that little bit of embossing on it, because you know when you emboss, you love this person a little bit more. They notice she embossed. Oh my gosh, look at that. I'm extra special. So I'm going to cut this one out. But so I think it looks really pretty on white, and it looks pretty on the freesia, which used to be mauve. I hope you give the masks a try. They are really a lot of fun. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.